Listen, I've had my disagreements with Myron in the past and stuff he's done. He's done some very silly things, in my personal opinion, like wear KKK hoods on screen and, do Heil Hitler signs and sit down with, admitted racists like, Fuentes and whatnot. But when it comes to research on what he's doing, Myron knows what he's doing. But recently, Jesse, do you know who Fresh and Fit are?
Never heard of them.
You don't know who? You must know who.
Well, I'm not joking for once. Never heard of them.
Anyway, Fresh and Fit were in London this week. For all who don't know, there's a guy called Myron who does a podcast in America, and he has a lot of women on from Miami. I think they're based in Miami, and he has a lot of women on, and a lot of the time they have debates on women and men's issues and relationships, X, Y, and Z. And what happens is that they disagree. And he's got this thing called Frank Castling. Frank Castling is kind of when he throws people out of the studio. And the show's called Fresh and Fit. Now, he embodies the fit, and he has a sidekick called Fresh. Now, what has happened of recent is that they get callers calling in and getting people giving their opinions on what they do. A lot of people are saying, we love what you do, Myron, and Fresh and Fit and blah, blah, blah. But on this occasion, there was a very critical individual who phoned up the show and gave his opinions on Myron's sidekick by the name of Fresh. Now, I would say that he has got a few points. Because if we think about Fresh and Fit, we know Myron. And we know Fresh exists, but I don't actually know his name.
Sorry, can I stop you? Because what if we don't know? Because I really don't know. So what if your subscribers don't know?
They don't know his name.
What if we don't know these people? You're saying as if we know.
I just described who Fresh and Fit were. They do a podcast in Miami.
I'm still confused, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's because you were fiddling around with cameras behind there, mate. But yeah, they do a podcast, and I've got a video of them, and I want people to take this in and see what the guy says. Jesse, can we play that video of Fresh and Fit, please?
Cool. The video is 2 minutes long, guys. Please enjoy.
Watching your show for a while, and I believe that you could relegate Fresh's contribution to the podcast to 4 buttons on your stream deck. That's my one critique.
What?
Now, if you need me to go more into that, I also have a book that has been already written on Fresh's contribution to the show. It's called Why Myron Deserves Fresh. It's spell checked by Aaron C. Poxon.
What?
I'm being serious. I've already done the cover art and everything, and I got like Fresh's bio on the back and stuff. It's only 3 pages because that's all I could really come up with as far as contributions. 2 of the pages, one's a cover page, the other one's a table of contents, and the other one's just like a double-spaced list of things that Fresh contributes to the podcast. But things that are included on the book, you got the actual body count. There's a lot of things on there, but I would like to, I guess, propose that book should definitely be out to the masses. So people that hate on Fresh, they should at least pick up the book and know his actual contribution.
So what is your bottom line here?
Please tell us.
My bottom line,
To sell his book.
I think that the hate that Fresh gets, it's kind of warranted. I want to say that Fresh, you do ride on Myron's coattails. You can't really have a show without Myron. You could have the show without you, though. I mean, all you need is like a mannequin with a black trash bag over it. Myron just programmed like 4 buttons. The first button could be like, "So ladies." The other button could be like, "Red flag." The last button could be like, "All right, last off on the show."
All right.
I'm being serious.
I've got questions.
Imagine someone calling into your show to roast your ass. Go on, Jess. You said you had questions. Go on.
So
Yeah.
he was saying that Myron leads the show,
Myron leads the show. Myron's like the main voice of the show.
and this is a good thing. He likes that.
Listen, I've had my disagreements with Myron in the past and stuff he's done. He's done some very silly things, in my personal opinion, like wear KKK hoods on screen and, do Heil Hitler signs and sit down with, admitted racists like, Fuentes and whatnot. But when it comes to research on what he's doing, Myron knows what he's doing.
Okay. Cool.
Fresh, on the other hand.
So who was who?
Fresh.
No, on the screen, who was who?
What do you mean, who was who?
I'm assuming the people on the screen were fresh and fit.
Yes, they were fresh. That's fresh and fit.
So who's Myron?
Myron is the lighter one.
And he's the one that they like.
He's the one that leads.
And they like this.
And they like this. Because
Okay.
he's very good at what he does. 100%. Cool. He's very good at what he does. But the guy phones in to basically roast Fresh and say that he doesn't really need to be there. He should be there. Oh, he could be there with like a trash bag and like four phrases, which I think is disrespectful. However, when you do watch the show, if you do watch the show, you will realize that he's actually not that wrong. Like, what does Fresh do? Now, bearing in mind, he could do stuff behind the scenes that we don't know. Okay, so I'm prepared to give him that, right? However, on screen, he doesn't really contribute much to the actual podcast, which is called Fresh and Fit. So his name is actually first in the podcast, Fresh and Fit, right? But it's like the Fit, who is supposed to be Myron, Fresh doesn't do anything generally.
So basically, so I get this right. Essentially, wait, so Fresh doesn't do anything.
Fresh hardly does anything.
So
bro.
I will be Fresh. And
you do stuff, bro. No, don't downplay yourself. I know you look weird, yeah, and I know you haven't washed today, but don't downplay yourself, bro. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? No, but yeah, basically he doesn't do much.
We've got a comment here from Regular Degular. I love the spelling. It says Fresh is all behind the scenes and he's the money.
Like I said, I don't know that. But if he is behind the scenes, if you watch that video, what the guy goes on to say is that if he is a behind the scenes guy, then he should just be a behind the scenes guy.
Because he's not needed.
Because he's not kind of needed on the show.
Just get a mannequin.
He's basically sits there and listens up and says certain things here and there, but Myron definitely controls that show. And so it's like, what is... In these days and times, it's very interesting because everyone's got an opinion. People have got an opinion on this show. People got an opinion on me in general. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to the show, if you watch it just with the naked eye, you will definitely get that Fresh doesn't do much. And I just think it's very interesting because it's like the quote unquote red pill space. Some people put me in there and blah, 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 because, I'm not used to, but I speak on women's issues. I don't think I speak like a lot of the other people speak on women's issues. I think I'm more fairly balanced. However, I feel like the quote unquote red pill space is kind of dying down. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of on its last legs. When it comes to the red pill space, I would say there's one person that I think should be, who is more balanced in my personal point of view.
Joe Biden.
No. Who I think is more balanced and who I think has more of a level head, which is MTR. Shout out MTR. Who's MTR? Mediocre Tutorial Reviews. And Mediocre Tutorial Reviews is like a good leader for me for the red pill space. Myron, not so much, because he's quite angry and he can be quite shouty and he can be quite, quote unquote aggressive, whereas MTR seems a little bit more balanced. There were times when Kevin Samuels was in this space, right? And obviously he's the godfather. There were times when he got, a little bit like, yo, shut the fuck up. This is what's going on. But it seems like it depends on certain things. Myron seems like that a lot of the time. Whereas MTR, in my personal point of view, I'm not trying to pit them against each other, but in my personal point of view, I think MTR is more of the guy to kind of take the baton and lead the charge in the red pill space, if I'm totally honest.
N Trades says that the red pill leader is Andrew Tate. Ha ha ha.
No, I wouldn't say so. I think Andrew Tate touches on a lot of red pill stuff, but I think Andrew Tate is a bit broader than the red pill space. Andrew Tate talks about, governmental stuff, quote unquote, the matrix, people, what happens in the highest echelons of government and stuff like that. So while I do understand that Andrew Tate may have some talking points on the red pill, I don't think he's a red pill leader. I think people who specifically focus on the red pill specifically and just that should be kind of classed as like the leader of the red pill space. That's my personal point of view.
No.